Everyone has their own opinion about who are the best frames for hard mode, and I commonly hear the names of those Warframes who either can strip armor, have tons of survivability, or can massacre enemies in just one push of a button, and I only see a few talking about Trinity. I can't blame the community, since most of us treat Trinity as more valuable for a supportive role. Many believe that she is best used in team composition, as not only that she has one of the best party healing abilities in the game, but she can also give the members of the party an infinite amount of energy. This is the most common perception of players about Trinity, that she is more suitable for party plays, but little did they know that the team may need Trinity, but this frame doesn't need anyone to go up against high-level content. The thing about this frame is she is solid because of her survivability, which is one factor that we must look into when it comes to doing solo high-level content. She may not have abilities that can nuke a room, but she is pretty good in terms of mitigating damage. In addition, energy is not a problem with this frame, since she can just cast Energy Vampire at the right time and place to get infinite amount of energy. Now if you pair this survivability with the right mod setup, then I'll assure you that you will love playing Trinity in high-level content. Basically, Energy Vampire, Link, and Blessing are the main abilities that we can rely on when it comes to high-level content. Well of Life is also a good skill, but I don't usually use it since I can just simply cast Blessing and regain both health and shields. Keeping these three abilities in mind, we should make sure to use a build that would make these three effective, and so far, I achieve that efficacy while running this build. I know this is not the best when it comes to duration, but this min-max build gives me enough time to cast my other abilities and create a loop that I usually follow to keep my Trinity alive. With this build, you will need to constantly cast Energy Vampire, so you won't have any problems casting both your Link and Blessing. Once you have enough energy, then just cast Link and Blessing if it's needed. Rinse and repeat the process and you will keep your Trinity alive for the rest of the mission. You see, what makes Trinity very tanky with this build is not the fact that he has high health value, and can able to withstand hit from health with the help of her abilities and the adaptation mod. Her shield is what makes her unkillable with this build. For those who don't know, the damage reduction coming from Blessing does affect both shields and over shields. If you pair this with the fact that adaptation's damage reduction also affects shields, then you will see my point of adding the Arcane Aegis on this slot. In addition, I did add brief respite as an aura so we can take advantage of the shield gating mechanic. Ensuring that we have regained shield per ability cast will allow us to have a short invulnerability period to react in a situation. Okay, let's talk about shield gating for a bit. This mechanic is a bit tricky, but if you understand the basic, then you could probably go immortal by only relying on your shields. You see, shield gating is an effect that occurs when shields are fully depleted, which prevents any excess damage leaking into the health pool. Warframes and companions gain 1.3 seconds of invulnerability upon hitting the shield gate, only resetting when shields are allowed to fully replenish. If the shield is still in the process of recharging after the gate has activated, the shield gate will only last for 0.33 seconds. The idea is not to wait for the shield to regenerate and always make sure that we are either at full shield, or we have over shield. The best way to do it is cast Blessing, but honestly speaking, the ability is not enough to guarantee your survival when you are doing endurance survival runs. Level 1000 plus enemies will hit hard that sometimes you won't be able to regenerate your shield fast enough. That is why if you are planning to do some endless content, then I highly suggest using Rakta Dark Dagger for the shield regeneration per hit. This dagger will give you that edge against level 1000 plus enemies and beyond. And it pairs well with an abating Link Trinity, especially if you build it with some viral mod variation. Now before I end this video, I will give you something to experiment on with Trinity. So I bumped on something really interesting with Trinity while testing her in the training room. Now, this is before the Steel Path update, so the thing is, it looks like Kuvanuka and her Energy Vampire have a very interesting synergy that can melt single targets easily. The idea is to mod your Kuvanuka with viral and radiation and then simply shoot the target with this weapon, then cast Energy Vampire on the targets that were affected by the viral and radiation proc of your secondary. As you can see, enemies just get wrecked after a few waves of Energy Vampire. This may not be useful for those who are planning to use my abating Link Trinity build, but I see potential for this mod setup for those who are planning to be an energy vampire Trinity. This synergy means that you'll have faster energy restore from energy vampire, since the ability alone can kill the target, and we all know that if a target dies while energy vampire is active, that last explosion will trigger a huge energy restore. I was able to try this out with my Kuva Lich, and it does do some nasty damage to the health bar of my Kuva Lich. However, you need to disable the shield first before you can do some damage with this synergy. If you somehow managed to find a use for this synergy, then let us know in the comment box below. I know that Trinity isn't the same after the good old days where we can nuke a room while jumping with Sancti Castanas, but before even that crazy synergy emerged, Trinity was able to do high-level content without breaking a sweat. Her abilities may not do a lot in terms of damage, but her survivability makes her very good to use in missions like the Steel Path mode. That's how good this frame is, and I advise that you do not sleep on her. Try Trinity on any high level with the set of tips I've shown on this video, and you'll definitely get what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
Evolution. This is the future.